Hey guys, Sebastian here again. So today we're going to be breaking down Gukesh D's best game. Without further ado, let's quit the still dallying and let's get into the video. The game begins with knight to f3, knight to f6, and the move g3. After g3, we get the move d5. d5 taking the center. This is known as a King's Indian attack, the Yugoslav variation. Bishop to g2, e6, short castles, bishop to e7, and the move d3 here. Obviously going for this knight to d2 action. And this dark square bishop will get developed later. Here we get short castles, knight bd2, and c5, taking the full center. Here after c5 we get e4 by Gukesh. Gukesh obviously just trying to get this. Knight to c6, obviously just developing a knight. Pretty strong move, it's alright. Rook to e1 and b5 by his opponent Makan Rafi. I hope that I pronounced that right. I have German in me, so I would really hope that I pronounced that right. But yeah, Makan Rafi, or Makan Rafi, I'm going to call him Makan though. Yeah. And guess how I pronounce pecan. So yeah, after b5 we get e5. e5 just attacks the knight. Knight d7 is pretty normal. Knight to f1 here, going for probably some reroute like this. Queen c7, bishop f4, developing this, defending the pawn. Here we get bishop to b7, just developing this bishop. Here we get h4 by Damaraju. Ideas is just to push, like push, and just play aggressive on the king's side. We get rook fc8. I cannot explain to you why he didn't play rook ac8, but he played rook fc8 instead. h5. Black plays h6. He doesn't want Gukesh to push his pawn any further. We get knight to e3. Knight to e3, finally is getting his knight out. And here we get queen to d8. Just putting his queen and this bishop on the same diagonal. Hey, Grandpa.
Hey, bud.
Love you.
Love you.
Alright, after that, the move c4 was played. c4 playing a small bit aggressively. We get b takes c4. Then we get takes and d4. Kind of similar to, I'd say, a reversed Benoni pawn structure. Here we get knight to g4. Just getting these pieces working. Here we get bishop to f8. Here, Gukesh plays top engine line, at least for my engine, which is knight to d2. After knight to d2, we get rook c to b8. I guess the idea of this was to fight down over here against Gukesh. Knight to e4 here. Knight to e4 is a good move, just teaming up. After this, we get knight to e7, playing this knight backwards. Here we get the move b4, a nifty pawn sacrifice. The idea is, let's just follow the game. After c takes b4, we get queen takes d4, and this is pretty solid. Here we get knight to f5, attacking queen, and queen takes d7. This is an absolutely brilliant idea. Idea is after queen takes d7, here Gukesh played The move queen takes. Knight takes a. Huh? Huh? Oh, sorry. Chessgames.com messed. For those of you who do not know, okay, I use chessgames.com to find the matches that I play, like that I cover. The real move was knight to f6. After h takes. Yeah, we get king to g7 and takes, transpositioning into the line that they said was played. I am so sorry. Chessgames.com messed up. My bad. Someone even in the comments said that, but yeah, I thought that move looked off. That's whatever. Knight takes d7. Idea is after bishop takes g2, knight takes b8, and bishop to f3, which I know happened in the game. I hope. I really hope. I hope that I'm not covering just some made-up game by Gukesh. We get knight to d7 here. After knight to d7, we get bishop to e7, just developing his bishop, making sure that will not be traded. Know what I mean? Bishop to e3 here. The idea of bishop to e3 is just he kind of wants to get this pawn structure, or what's more likely is this attacking this, and you want to play. You want this. Like, ooh, not there, sorry. Like, you want here. Something like this. Instead, after bishop to e3, we got rook to c8, attacking this pawn. Rook to c1, obviously defending the pawn. Now we get knight takes and f takes, doubling pawn structure. We have bishop to c6, knight to f6, bishop takes f6, e takes f6, king takes f6, and king to f2. Rook to g8, putting some pressure down this g file. Rook to d1. Rook to g5, attacking this pawn. We get this move. Danger levels, if you take my pawn, I take your bishop. So, rook to c5 and g4. That's actually a very nice idea. Deflecting and making it to where these pawns can defend each other. Now, for those of you wondering why don't you play here, just king to g3 and you're fine. So yeah, g4 and a7 and a5, just pushing this, maybe trying to get some counterplay on the queen side. But we get rook to d8, bishop to d5, nice idea. You can't take because of this pin. Rook to g8, bishop to e4, king to e2, king to e7, king to f2, king to f6, king to e2, king to e7. Looks like they're about to draw, but in reality they did that just to get past move 40. And now Gukesh plays king to d2, and after they get to move 40, the game only lasts a couple moves. King to f6, g5 check, h takes g5, h6, bishop to h7, and rook to f1 check. That's it. Go do something productive with the rest of your day.